car sits motionless on a quiet road in Mexico. The engine is off. The driver shifts into neutral. Then something impossible appears to happen. The vehicle begins to move, not downhill, uphill. At least that's what it looks like. For decades, roads like this have fascinated travellers, locals and curious visitors who arrive expecting to witness something supernatural. Some believe hidden magnetic forces pull vehicles upward. Others claim unusual energy fields exist beneath the Earth. A few even suggest the laws of physics somehow behave differently here. But the truth may be even more fascinating, because this strange road reveals something profound, not about gravity, but about the human brain. Today, we're travelling to one of Mexico's most mysterious roadside attractions, a place where reality appears to bend, where cars seem to climb hills without engines, and where your own senses may become your greatest source of confusion. This is the story of Mexico's Gravity Hill, and why what you see is not always what is real. Chapter 1. The Hill That Shouldn't Exist. Mexico is a country filled with extraordinary landscapes. Volcanic peaks rise above ancient cities. Deserts stretch toward distant mountains. Deep canyons carve through rugged terrain. And hidden among these landscapes are places that seem to challenge common sense. One of the most famous examples can be found near León, in the state of Guanajuato. Visitors arrive at a seemingly ordinary road. Nothing appears unusual. There are no dramatic cliffs, no strange machines, no visible tricks, yet locals know exactly where to stop. Drivers place their vehicles in neutral, then they wait. Slowly, the car begins to roll, and from the perspective of everyone watching, it appears to be moving uphill. The experience feels wrong. Every instinct tells you gravity should be pulling the vehicle in the opposite direction, but your eyes insist otherwise. And that's exactly what makes places like this so powerful. Humans trust vision more than almost any other sense. When our eyes tell us something is happening, we tend to believe it, even when the evidence says otherwise. That conflict between perception and reality is what turns an ordinary road into a mystery. Chapter 2. How the Legend Grew. Long before scientists studied Gravity Hill, stories spread through local communities. People searched for explanations. Many involved hidden forces beneath the Earth, magnetic minerals, underground energy, mysterious geological phenomena. Others drifted into folklore. Some stories suggested supernatural causes. Others connected the locations to local legends and unexplained events. These explanations were understandable. After all, if a car appears to roll uphill, what else are people supposed to think? For generations, humans have interpreted unusual natural phenomena through stories. It's how we explain the unknown. A strange light becomes a ghost. An unusual sound becomes a spirit. A moving rock becomes a mystery. And a car rolling uphill becomes evidence that gravity itself has failed. The problem is that our brains are often more interested in creating explanations than questioning assumptions. When something feels impossible, we instinctively search for a dramatic answer. Yet reality often hides behind something much simpler and much stranger. Chapter 3. The Science of the Illusion. To understand Gravity Hill, we need to understand how humans determine what is level. Imagine standing in an empty room. You can immediately identify where the floor is. You know which direction is up and which direction is down. But now imagine removing all clear reference points. No horizon, no visible skyline, no buildings, no perfectly straight structures. Suddenly, determining what is level becomes surprisingly difficult. Your brain relies on environmental clues, the horizon, trees, surrounding slopes, buildings, the position of distant landscapes. Gravity hills exploit a weakness in that system. The surrounding terrain creates a visual illusion. The landscape is tilted in such a way that your brain misinterprets the angle of the road. A section that is actually sloping downhill appears to be sloping upward, and because the road is truly descending, vehicles naturally roll in that direction. Gravity is functioning perfectly. Nothing unusual is happening. The illusion exists entirely within human perception. The road isn't defying gravity, your brain is. Chapter 4. Why your brain gets fooled. The most remarkable part of Gravity Hill isn't the road, it's us. Human vision is incredibly sophisticated, yet it evolved for survival, not precision. Our ancestors didn't need laser-level accuracy. They needed quick decisions. They needed to identify predators, recognize faces, navigate landscapes, and survive. As a result, the brain constantly makes assumptions. It fills gaps, creates shortcuts, builds mental models. Most of the time, these shortcuts work remarkably well, but under certain conditions, they fail. Gravity hills create one of those conditions. The surrounding landscape manipulates the visual cues our brains use to judge elevation. A tilted horizon, uneven terrain, subtle slopes, unexpected angles. Together, they create a convincing illusion. Even when people know the scientific explanation beforehand, many still struggle to shake the feeling that something impossible is happening. Their intellect understands, their eyes disagree. That tension is what makes the experience unforgettable. Because few things are more unsettling than discovering your own senses cannot be trusted. Chapter 5. Mexico's Landscape of Illusions. Mexico is uniquely suited for phenomena like this. The country's geography is extraordinarily diverse. Mountain ranges intersect with valleys. Plateaus transition into rugged terrain. Volcanic landscapes create unusual contours and perspectives. In many regions, roads weave through topography that naturally distorts visual reference points. This doesn't mean Mexico has special gravity. It means Mexico has landscapes capable of creating powerful illusions, and those illusions become part of a local identity. Visitors travel long distances to experience them firsthand. Roadside attractions emerge, stories spread online, videos gather millions of views, people arrive expecting mystery, and leave with something arguably more interesting, a demonstration of how reality and perception can diverge. Chapter 6. The Global Phenomenon. Mexico is not alone. Gravity hills exist all over the world. In Canada, the United States, Australia, South Korea, India, Italy, Scotland, and dozens of other countries. Despite enormous differences in culture, geography, and history, the stories are remarkably similar. Cars roll uphill. Water appears to flow against gravity. Objects move in impossible directions. Visitors search for explanations. Legends emerge. Scientists investigate. And the answer is almost always the same: an optical illusion. Yet the persistence of these stories reveals something important. Humans are naturally drawn to mysteries. Even in an age of satellites, artificial intelligence, and advanced science, we remain fascinated by places that challenge our understanding. Perhaps because deep down, we want the world to remain surprising. We want there to be unexplained corners of reality. Gravity hills provide exactly that feeling, even when we know the answer. Chapter 7. What this road really teaches us. At first glance, Gravity Hill appears to be a story about a strange road, but it is actually a story about perception. Every day our brains construct reality from incomplete information. We assume what we see is accurate. We trust our interpretations. We believe our perspective reflects truth. Yet places like this remind us how fragile that confidence can be. The road hasn't changed. Gravity hasn't changed. Physics hasn't changed. Only perception has. And suddenly, certainty disappears. That lesson extends far beyond a hillside in Mexico. It applies to how we view history, how we interpret events, how we judge people, how we understand the world. Sometimes the most convincing explanation is not the correct one. Sometimes what appears obvious is deeply misleading. And sometimes reality is hiding beneath an illusion we never realized existed. Conclusion. As the sun begins to set over the hills of central Mexico, the road looks ordinary once again. Cars pass, people continue their journeys, life moves forward. Yet for those who stop and experience the illusion, something lingers. Not a belief that gravity failed, but a realization that perception can. A simple stretch of pavement becomes a reminder that the world is often stranger than it appears, not because natural laws break, but because human perception does, and perhaps that is the true mystery of Mexico's Gravity Hill. Not that it tricks gravity, but that it tricks us. I'm your narrator from the Untold Opus. Subscribe, because the world is bigger, stranger, and more fragile than most people realize.